I saw this display rehearsed yesterday afternoon. I'm looking forward to it immensely. See it again. Major 9 propeller aircraft, 9 pilots fighting. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Hello, Cosford. I'm sending you on behalf of my country, Switzerland, the warmest greetings from the Swiss airport. Have you ever asked yourself what it might be or what it might look like? Aircraft spotters out there, it is a Dornier 228 and it's now running in to the overhead. Now it's a brand new aircraft to us. It's coming to join us for the whole season, and it's coming from Canada, ladies and gentlemen, and it's being operated for us by Summit Air. If you'll actually see the aircraft itself, the aircraft is actually logoed all up with the Royal Air Force Falcons. It really, if it's on the deck, you really do like to see this aircraft. Anyway, the door is open now, and the team coach will be looking out of the aircraft, Flight Sergeant Kerry Marshman, and he'll be looking down, making sure that they're right overhead. He'll be looking in to see exactly what the heading is, so that when they go round again, if he's happy with that, they'll fly in on that heading. He'll be giving the aircraft captain a left and a right to make sure that they're right overhead, and so they'll go round for that main running for a live drop. Now let me tell you a little bit more about the Royal Air Force Falcons. Okay, now where do you start? How do you become a Royal Air Force Falcon? Well, it all starts, ladies and gentlemen, right. The concept of the University Air Squadron dates all the way back to the 1920s and was put in place by the father of the Royal Air Force, Hugh Trenchard. First units were formed at Oxford and Cambridge in 1925. It was really during the 1930s that the University Air Squadron scheme really grew and matured. All together for us, still only appearing at a very small number of shows this year. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight.
The Battle of Britain Memorial Flight was formed as the historic aircraft flight, rather appropriately, at Biggin Hill, South East London, back on the 11th of July 1957. So in exactly 1 month's time, they will be celebrating their 60th birthday. Later, they changed their name to the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight to represent, to remember, and to commemorate the Royal Air Force's finest hour. It originally consisted of 1 Hurricane and 3 Spitfires. Interestingly, the Hurricane and 2 of the original Spitfires are still serving with the flight. But today they've been supplemented by additional aircraft, and the flight boasts an amazing collection of 6 Spitfires, 2 Hurricanes, 1 DC-3, 1 Lancaster and 2 Chipmunks. But the Hurricane was the main victor of the Battle of Britain. During the summer of 1940, the Royal Air Force had 32 Hurricane squadrons in service compared to just 19 Spitfire squadrons. And compared to the Spitfire, the Hurricane was very much a traditional design, built mainly from tubular steel covered with fabric, just as biplanes have been built for 20 years or so. Now in fact the Hurricane was based on the Hawker Fury biplane, but with the top wing removed. The Hurricane introduced the Royal Air Force into a new generation of fighter aircraft when it entered service in December 1937, as it was the first monoplane capable of exceeding 300 miles per hour in flight, the first aircraft with a retractable undercarriage, and the first armed with 8 machine guns. The Hurricane, very much a fine warhorse, very rugged, 4 machine guns closely grouped in each wing, a very stable gun platform. at the height of the Battle of Britain, Luftwaffe pilot Lieutenant Lessing wrote a letter to his parents, which I will now quote. Often the Spitfires give beautiful displays of aerobatics. Recently, I watched as one of them played a game with 30 Messerschmitts without ever getting into trouble. The Hurricanes, however, they are tired, old puffers. 24 hours later, Lieutenant Lessing was shot down and killed by one of those tired, old puffers. His aircraft crashing into the sea off the North Kent coast. A total of 565 Hurricanes were lost during the Battle of Britain, and indeed by 1941, Hurricanes were being outperformed by just about every other fighter aircraft, so they were relegated from the majority of frontline roles, some even converted to ground attack, known as Harry Bombers. So accompanying the Hurricane we have 3 Spitfires, a Mark II, a Mark V and a Mark 16. 3 great representatives of possibly the most classic aircraft design of all time. Designed by the legend that was R.J. Mitchell. The Spitfire was a thoroughbred. It was built for performance. Only performance counted. Now, to be frank, it had a difficult conception, difficult birth, difficult adolescence, but then matured into the fine and wonderful aircraft we think of and are enjoying and experiencing today. Two masterpieces of engineering contributed to the Spitfire success. Spitfire pilots also talk about the heavy fall out of the sky and probably be shot down. So you're in that difficult situation where you have to pull hard, but if you pull too hard, you will stall and probably lose the combat. This slight twist in the Spitfire's wing meant that the aircraft would vibrate when it got close to a stall, and so actually talk to a pilot saying you're pulling hard, but don't pull any harder. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, celebrating their 60th anniversary from the right-hand side, I give you the Royal Air Force Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, lest we forget.
centre. He's giving us a nice little farewell. Perhaps you'd like to wave, Peter, because that's been lovely. Here he goes. I think he's going to deliver his climbing 360 as promised. We'll see. I feel, Peter, you've flown me with a gin and tonic in my hand over to the Touquet. Peter, thank you very much. Have a good, safe journey home. And we have the glider and tug taking off in front of us. And one or two things, just doing a little bit of...
Also, Julian Dowling wants to thank his friend and neighbour Richard very much for buying him a ticket to this year's air show. Richard did this as a thank you after having a difficult time recently, and Julian says Richard always puts everybody else first and wants to make this year's event extra special for him. So Julian, Richard, guys, enjoy the show today. I'm sure you are already, and it's going to get much more fun.
We often say, don't we, that we were very short for the area, you know, about, I'd say, 20-25 miles towards our region. And that's where my biggest compliment is squirrel, because that's where the Reds are based. So Michael getting out there, coming to see us. Great. Puma just lining up to land there. And we are waiting now on the Strike Masters. Now, I love a bit of a crash bang wallop, and I'm sure you do. However, I should warn you, especially if you've got youngsters who haven't seen explosions, ground explosions before. If you've got anybody who might be a bit startled by a bit of a bang, warn them, because we're going to have some explosions as part of this display.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, just a few moments there while we shuffle a few aircraft around.
Strike Master, of course, is the military version of the Jet Provost, so the two aircraft flying together is just perfect. They're going to do this attack scenario, and they're going to come back with their first double strafe. So they're turning now. Coming in for their strafe attack. John Corley flying the grey one. Mark Petrie flying the camo one. Strike Masters flew in combat in Oman, South Yemen and Ecuador. So they're doing the day job. So here we go. The double strafe. Whoa. Have they subdued the people on the ground? I don't think they have. hear you ask. It was actually put together from spare parts of remaining airframes and delivered to the Sultan of Oman's Air Force. I bought a car like that once. Diving in on the attack. And to finish off those two strafes, yes. Okay, you've plastered the position on the ground. So let's have a look. Let's see what's on the ground. Let's do this battle damage assessment. Come in low. Banking to see what's going on. Topside pass. There we go. Get it? G-Prof. The only Mark 52 jet prop is still flying today. A light ground attack export version of the Jet Provis Mark 4 trainer. The aircraft you see there, the camouflage one, flew with the South Arabian Air Force and was damaged in combat. She knows of which she speaks. Coming around to approach us now.
What is the passing now? 2 knots on.
Coming towards us. Sun glinting off the wings. Big surprise for someone. Here we go. And the split. I think that must be mission. Not a million miles from where Ian's landed. You can see the rotors spinning on the whirlwind. The yellow. Got a rather charming fat face. So for the whirlwind. Ian retired from the RAF after 30 years. He's an engineering and technical weapons instructor. Now works as an MOD civilian in human factors right here at Cosford. He's also the chief flying instructor of the Lincoln Driving Club. 2 weeks ago, broke a world record. He was in Holland at the Cosford Air Show. He was flying the tow plane as part of the Glider FX team. Remember Excitable Rob? He was with the Glider FX team. Probably powered this thing. Broke a new world record for the number of rolls by a glider whilst being attached to the tow plane. How many did they do? 59. Probably also broke the world dizziness record. Please don't send letters, I'm only joking. I know what you like. His 8-year-old daughter. His 8-year-old daughter has already amassed 55 hours flying training, most of the aerobatics on the course. I can't quite see from here. If you can see it, shout. No, don't shout. As I say, historically we've had to be here for many years. And I only mention it because people say, well, why don't you move it forward? And we just can't. That's not the way this airfield is acted, I'm afraid. It can't be done. piano in the shower while standing on 2 bars of soap. Every limb was doing something. Helicopter's been around for a very long time, 1936. FW61. You know that bit where Eagles Dare, where everybody goes, they didn't have helicopters. Not so mad as you might think, although that was a Bell 47. Charming aircraft the Whirlwind is. Search and rescue colours, of course. And wouldn't you just love that? To hove into view if you were in trouble. That's what the type did for years. Tell you more about that. We're going to have a search and rescue display. The aircraft's owned and flown by ex-Army Andrew Whitehouse. Thanks, Andrew, for saving this wonderful aircraft for us. Used to visit a pal in Ireland and fly it over there, and eventually he bought it. Well, who wouldn't? Might take a bit of explaining, but you know, no reasonable person could possibly object to you coming home with this helicopter. The left seat is Steve Garrett. Actually flew this aircraft on many search and rescue operations. I tried to chisel some stories out of him. Rather typically wasn't having it. Crewman is Martin Mullis. Martin's an avionics engineer and works for Augusta Westland down in Yeovil. Here's some great news. If you're a Hilo fan, Andrew's just bought 2 Wessex Mark 5s off the Navy. Yeehaw. Gonna try and get one flying for next year. Gotta be frank, Andrew, more power to your elbow. People doing what you're doing desperately need you to do this. Save these aircraft. My first flight, that wasn't a commercial flight, was a jolly in a Wessex. God knows what the pilots thought, but there we were, all these spotty little Herberts in CCF, and they took us up on experienced flights over Dartmoor. Here am I faintly mocking it, aren't I? But you know I shouldn't, because I have never ever forgotten it. So those things you do with your kids, you think, little horror, wasn't really paying attention, being a bit of a clever, what's the name? Sticks in your mind. Wonderful stuff. So here we go. Search and rescue. It's very kindly doing his display. Search and rescue element anyway, behind a vast chalet. So this is largely guesswork, isn't it? There's something going on, but I can see less than animated person rotating at what would be a rather uncomfortable rate of knots. You know what? I think Andrew's going to do this in a height where I can't see him. Thank you very much. So slightly less than animated orange flight suited on there. Below the helicopter. Started life in 1949 as the Sikorsky S-55. The US used it in their Air Force, their Army, their Marines, Coast Guard, if you get enough of it. Helicopter in that it had a large cabin which in theory could carry about 10 soldiers. Soon it was found to be good at carrying casualties quickly away from the battlefield and or scenes of accidents and to deliver them quickly to medical aid. So it was soon performing this role. This aircraft's an HAR-10, HAR standing for Helicopter Ambulance Rescue. So the injured person was in the cabin being looked after by a doctor. Previously, they'd have to put the wounded on stretchers along the skids outside the aircraft. Well, this aircraft doesn't have skids, but I think his squirrel did. I think the image you want to have in your head of that rather horrible whole scenario is of the title sequence of the TV series MASH. When you see those, I'm going to daringly say they were Sues, flying in with the guys, with the wounded in the panniers, the perspex panniers on the skids. But that's not the case here, because the wounded person's got into this big cabin, pilot up the top there, you see. They get the guy in there and they can look after him. A spacious cabin. But you think about the pioneers who put together all the early techniques and the equipment, flying this in those tricky early operations. And think about the aircraft that replaced this, the Wessex and ultimately the Sea King. Now we've moved into the new generation of rescue helicopters. And the techniques are essentially the same. Go there, find the casualty, the winch, and they get go. Let's get it back. A very, very reassuring sight. Colours there are 22 and 202 search and rescue squadrons. Nice bold yellow there. I'm feeling you're coming into land there, which you might be doing your crew pass. So excited, I've taken my fingers off the notes and can't work out around. That's Martin Mullis waving at you. Wave back. Hello, Martin. Yeah, he's waving at me, not you. I must get some stronger binos. Okay, all eyes are on the field. Rich Goodwin. What's going on in the sky, which of course... Oh, we're there. We're watching our man. Watch an aircraft hover. In fact, just watch and be amazed. Aircraft hovering. Back on. Just watch this. Just watch what he does next. including 21 missions during Operation Desert Storm in the first Gulf, and up he goes again. I quote from Rich's website. In 1993, I left the RAF to fly Boeings for a living, which I still do today. You never know, I may have been the captain on one of your flights. Surely you're getting settled in just to enjoy your flight. That's how I come. Pilot days, which good with. You think back to your day here today at Cosford. You think, perhaps I'll fly another day.
Aerobatic team for 2017. It's the entering a left-hand turn, Red 1 calls the pilots into Phoenix formation. Now you'll see the jets collapse to around 6 feet apart as Reds 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 and 9 on the wing move up into line abreast. Reds 6 and 7 tuck in behind to form that Phoenix shape. Red 1 is squadron leader David Montenegro. It's his third and final year as the team leader. He is a former Hawk flying instructor and Tornado F3 air defense pilot. He first joined the team back in 2009 and left in 2011, having led a synchro pair. That's him at the front now, leading the boys in Phoenix. Pitching up with the coloured smoke on are Reds 8 and 9, as Reds 6 and 7 now tuck in behind. On the leader's right wing is the first of our new pilots this year. He's Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Toby Keeley. Toby is a former Tornado GR4 pilot. More recently, he's been instructing on the Royal Air Force's newest fast jet training aircraft, the new version of this aircraft, which is the BAE Systems Hawk T Mark II. And in fact, you might remember Toby from the T2 roll demo just a couple of years ago. To the right now, the shape of an aircraft, specifically the Spitfire. We've been to this in the display this year to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Battle of Britain memorial flight, and we're about to fly the Spitfire roll. Upside down, 2,500 feet above us, in the shape of the Spitfire. I was very disappointed to arrive when I did. I actually missed the formation display by the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight. I was very much looking forward to seeing it, but unfortunately I didn't arrive in time. On the leader's left wing is the next of our new pilots. He is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Dan Lowes. Dan is a former Typhoon pilot. In fact, his background is solely on the Typhoon, where he was a qualified weapons instructor. More recently, he's been working with the Test and Evaluation Squadron, number 41 Squadron, before joining the team. Now looking front left, we're getting ready for a manoeuvre which we introduced last year, but listening to the feedback from the crowds, we've modified it so that it's even more impressive. Rolling out towards us with the smoke on. Get your cameras ready for Tornado! 8 and 9 with the red and blue smoke on. The front 7 aircraft with their air brakes out.
Coming left now.
Red 1 enters that 2G left-hand turn for 8 and 9 to finish their rolls. They then tuck in behind, as now you'll see Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 on the wings drop back to a beam Red 7's aircraft, Red 8 and 9 tuck in behind, and they're forming the shape of that fabulous feat of British aviation excellence. Coming in from the left-hand side, this is Concorde.
returning Red Arrow's pilot to the team. Red 5 this year is Flight Lieutenant Chris Lyndon Smith. Smiley's a former Tornado GR4 pilot and Hawk flying instructor. He first joined the team in 2011 and left in 2013. More recently, he has been flying the Hawk with number 100 Squadron, providing target training for the frontline units. So that's him at the top of the formation now as we look at it, as they form our trademark Diamond 9 shape, and they're soon to come in from the right to fly the Diamond Roll. Once again upside down at 2,500 feet, all 9 jets smoking white now in our trademark Diamond 9 shape. So the smoke goes off to the front left on this new display line, and that is the end of the first part of our performance. So far you've seen all 9 jets together in different shapes performing close formation aerobatics. Well, now we're going to change the tempo of the display and split into smaller formations of between 2 and 7 aircraft. Looking at front left, you'll see a big T shape. That shape is Dagger. And at the front of Dagger are Reds 1 to 5. They're known as Enid, after Enid Blyton and her books, The Famous Five. And at the back in the straight line are Reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. Their collective name as a formation is Jippo. Jippo was the nickname of the gentleman who first led the back 4 aircraft when the Red Arrow started flying 9-ship displays back in 1968. So now cameras ready. Look straight ahead on our new display line. The smoke comes on. We get ready to start the second part of the display with the detonator. There go Enid. Keep your eyes on the coloured smoke of Jippo. Instructor and Tucano display pilot. On the front line, he flew the Typhoon on quick reaction alert duties in the UK and the Falkland Islands. That's him on the right with the smoke on, and he is followed by Red 8. Looking left with the smoke is Red 7. He is followed by Red 9. The 4 jets descending down to treetop height now. They are closing at 820 miles per hour. Get ready. This is the Jippo Pass. Leave their smoke on, they go to full power and turn away from us now, each aircraft pulling 6G or 6 times the force of gravity. So the pilots' G-suits have inflated around their legs, they're tensing their leg muscles, working hard to fight the G-force as they fly the Cyclone. To our fronts as they perform the slingshot maneuver. We now need to look to the right-hand side, to find Enid.
Rolling.
Get down, says Red 1. The wings of Enid drop down to form an inverted V shape. Looking left now is Red 9, a lone jet who's going to fly through this V in the Goose. On the far right of Enid there with the blue smoke on is Red 4. He is Flight Lieutenant Matt Masters. Matt is in his second year with the team. He's a former Tucano flying instructor, Tornado F3 pilot, and more recently has been also flying the Hawk with number 100 Squadron. Now look straight ahead to find Red 6, 7 and 8. 7 and 8 with the coloured smoke now rolling around Red 6. Cameras ready for the vortex.
Then flew the Harrier GR9, then the Tornado GR4 before joining the Red Arrows. Looking back for the synchro pair again, Red 6 right, Red 7 left. Descending back down towards the trees, they're closing at 800 miles an hour to perform the opposition barrel rolls. Top to bottom, Reds 1 through 5. As Red 1 enters a left-hand turn, the following pilots use a lot of rudder now to swing the jets out in line astern. Normally we fly our formations with the odd-numbered pilots on the left and the even-numbered pilots on the right, but in this shape, it's the other way round. Reds 2 and 4 are on the left, Reds 3 and 5 are on the right. When they want to go back to their normal sides, they swap like that as they fly the slalom. They're back on their normal sides now with Reds 3 and 5 on the left and 2 and 4 on the right. Each of the pilots pressing now the red smoke button so that they can then finish this turn on their normal sides in battle. Changing to white smoke as they roll out to our front right. Bring your eyes further right now to find Jippo. This is a new take on one of my favourite manoeuvres. This is the Hurricane. Reds 8 and 9 performing opposite rolls around synchro as they roll inverted and upright at different stages during that new manoeuvre, the Hurricane. Looking to the right hand side again now to find Enid. Coming in from the right, this is the Revolution. Smoke comes on, they enter a right-hand turn as they finish the Revolution. Now the manoeuvre they were flying there was an aileron roll. Each of the pilots performing an aileron roll as they push the control column with a joystick as you fly the aircraft over to the left-hand side. Looking straight ahead now to find Jippo. The coloured smoke comes on, 8 and 9 roll around synchro. Get your cameras ready. This is the Jippo break. With his smoke changing from blue to white, this time on the left-hand side is Red 7, synchro number 2. He is Flight Lieutenant Cy Taylor. Cy's in his second year in the team. He is a former Tornado GR4 pilot, but then he transferred to the Typhoon Force and eventually
unit. So that's him on your left-hand side, descending down to 100 feet, getting ready to fly the double rolls. Red 6 from the right. Now look to your left-hand side to find the 5 headlights of Enid. The inside pilots perform tight match rolls to the outside in the rollbacks. Finishing to our right-hand side, we need to now look left and right again for the synchro pair and their final manoeuvre. This time, red 6 comes from the left and red 7 from the right. Their closing speed is once again 800 miles an hour. They're going to cross 3 times in 360-degree 6G turns. Here they come now with the white smoke on. This is the synchro pair and the carousel. They're working hard, fighting the G-force. They're going to cross 3 times. The second cross at the back, they'll swap their smoke colour from red to blue and vice versa. Coming around the front, they go back to white smoke. But now, Cosford, please, put your hands together for the synchro pair. Now, look straight above the trees. You will see Enid once again being joined by reds 8 and 9 for the display's finale. They're rolling out directly towards us, those 7 headlights shining towards you. Get your cameras ready.
There we go, which is right. 2. Give it home.
1 rolling, the middle jet with red smoke is red 1. He pitches up to draw the symbol for infinity around the rest of the formation. This is the infinity break. You've been watching the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. Put his white smoke on so the other 8 aircraft can get visual with him as quickly as possible. They're going to gather into a 9-ship formation and head back to Royal Air Force Shawbury, where our team of engineers will service the aircraft ready for our next event this afternoon. So they're going to gather up as a 9-ship and head back to Shawbury. The next event you'll see is the Typhoon, so keep this same orientation in your mind for the Typhoon display coming up.
Tell you back at the PR trailer, which is located.
Remember as well, the air show this year has got some themes. There's battlefield support, international cooperation, as well as space. The themes they're promoting, well, battlefield support is a big issue.
Yeah.
Operational theme this year showcasing the role of air power, past and present, in supporting our soldiers on the ground during times of conflict. Fast jet aircraft which deliver close air support, as well as helicopters playing a pivotal role in trip transportation, and I-Star aircraft giving battlefield commanders vital intelligence. The full spectrum of air power operations is being demonstrated as part of the air show's battlefield support theme this year. Also international cooperation, because today in defence, working with international partners is absolutely essential. Working alongside allies makes the whole force concept work. Recent examples include RAF Typhoons being deployed on NATO Baltic air policing duties. Also a major theme this year, space. The final frontier, indeed. A major part of the show is the STEM initiative in the hangar behind us, and you can see lots of space stuff going on in there, highlighting the rich history of this space involvement.
Attention, you are cleared halt. Cleared halt to good ship.
The request as far has been answered. With the front seat identifying the enemy through the day TV and FLIR cameras, the crew begins the attack run to your front to deliver a laser-guided Hellfire missile.
Good ship, rifle.
Rockets to bear on the target.
Good ship, clear halt, tipping in rockets. Good ship, rifle.
Recovery from the diving fire profile, delivering a successful rocket strike, Jim reacts dynamically to avoid any ground fire, here conducting a 270-degree sighted, the pilot used a 180-degree return to target wingover to rapidly reset back towards the fight. The front seat gunner elects for a further Hellfire strike, followed up with the Apache's 30mm cannon firing high explosive rounds.
Good ship, tipping in, missiles are gone.
Making tracking and predicting the aircraft quite difficult for an enemy attempting to engage. The front sees the aircraft picture of 90 degrees nose up to 90 degrees nose down on the highest point of the maneuver. After 3 successful strikes, and with enemy vehicles burning, the pilot positions the aircraft in a high wheel, circling the target to allow the front seater to conduct a comprehensive battle damage assessment on the target. While Staff Sergeant Balker scans with the cameras, Jim spots a remaining enemy soldier with a surface-to-air missile preparing to engage the aircraft. Using the targeting symbology projected into his right eye through his helmet's monocle, Jim slays the 30mm gun to his line of sight and can quickly engage the threat, decisively ending the contact.
Terry, pilot, helmet sight, steady mic firing.
detected and the friendly ground force is safe. The gunship has demonstrated the value of Apache close air support and the lethality of precision strike weaponry, whilst also acting as a deterrent for future heavy action. Concluding the tactical demonstration, Jim will now fly a short routine to display the Apache's impressive range of manoeuvrability. Establishing in the high hover at 800 feet, initiating with the cycling stick, Jim will pitch forward to 80 degrees nose down, balancing with pedal and allowing airspeed to build before recovering the dive at 200 feet. A wing over is a tactical return to target manoeuvre, commonly flown to quickly reposition the Apache back towards a threat. Approaching 120 knots.
So I want to just share with you a remarkable piece of archive recording. As I said, the B-17 was the iconic American bomber of the Second World War, and she flies as the memorial to all the men who lost their lives in the tremendously dangerous daylight bombing raids featured during the Second World War. We are going to take part in the final flypast of Sally B. And this is how. Off goes the Bronco. First, take a listen to this amazing archive recording from a typed-in confidential in its role and what it was designed for. It's run by an iPhone, and you're still running exactly the same iPhone in 2079. That would be a pretty robust iPhone, or I should say smartphone, because other smartphones are available. Just imagine that, you buy it, it's going to last you out to 2079. Well, that's effectively what the B-52 has done. Our next aircraft is the follow-on in the American story, going slightly back in time. B-51, the Mustang, the aircraft that flew as a fighter escort aircraft to the B-17s and the B-24s. Just very quickly, she said, take a plane to the corner shop, he thought, if you thought you could get away with it. I talked to Peter, as I said in an interview, and I said, Peter, a good display, what's it all about?
So a good display is all about the aircraft in the sight line, in the sound line, and portraying it as gracefully as you possibly can. That's what I want to portray. So when we land back, people have really had an emotional experience, and it's not unusual to land and for people to have tears in their eyes.
Taking off.
Machine gun. So more positions his helicopter above the right lane as previously was driving down the bottom. This combat lasted for more than 20 minutes until one of the A2 was shot down. Dropping back, more woods in the hearing, another A2, and then attacked black aircraft, sitting down into a ridge. West of the North Atlantic border.
want you to go there. One of them bombs could go over there.
Where is the place?
You had a cough?
Am I allowed here?
Yeah, I don't think so. good hard day. The sun's got me.
Coming in now from the left, B-17 Sally B.
Just get me my black bag. No, the rucksack.
Sally B, the only flying B-17 in Europe. Here she comes.
Right, go into. That's it. Should be easy. Go for the battery. No, you're not just doing the one.
They designed the B-17 as a type to fly in a self-protecting formation at high altitude to take the precision bombing war into the industrial heartland of Germany. Imagine stacks of these aircraft forming up to fly in fast formations across Germany. These are Flying War Memorial. Their most important date each year is a fly past over the Mattingly American Military Cemetery. Powerful place. I urge you to go to it. Sun glinting off the aircraft. What a beautiful afternoon this has turned into. What a beautiful lady to be doing this display. Topside pass. Note she's showing us her underside. Showing us her bomb bay. Not as big as you might think. Down the whole fuselage. Decision made by the Americans to have a turret to defend the underneath of the aircraft. Decision in RAF Bomber Command. I've actually read the actual document myself in the National Archives, signed by Air Chief Marshal Sir Arthur Harris. Decision made that the Lancasters would go to Germany with more bombs on board. And although a turret was tried underneath, particularly by the Canadians in the 6th Group, the decision was made to drag the weight and the additional man lost meant they wouldn't be defended from underneath. Truly a day in which I discovered something about the decisions made by commanders. He's a film star, of course. Her stage name, you could say, is Memphis Belle, but of course she's named after Ellie Sallingboe, Sally B. Remarkable person, Ellie. She leads the B-17 preservation team. She's been doing that, I think you could say, against all odds, for 42 years. More on how you can join her in her efforts and how indeed you can fly on this aircraft at the end. The particular airframe was built in Burbank, California, and delivered to the United States Army Air Force in June 1945. It was then flown by the French equivalent of the Ordnance Survey. Bought by Ted White to serve as a memorial to the 8th Air Force of the United States Army Air Force, named Sally B. by Ted for his partner Ellie Sallingbow. The single yellow and black nose cowl honours Ted. Her career on the small screen started with We'll Meet Again, but of course we know her probably from Memphis Belle, in which she was the star. Single cowling quite clearly she passes, that yellow and black cowling on the inner edge. You can also on this pass clearly see Memphis Belle painted on the starboard side of the nose. Can't hardly believe Memphis Belle is a 1990 movie. Seems like last week. Another film I'd recommend that's about B-17s is, it's old school and it is black and white, but I'd urge you to watch 12 O'Clock High. It was made just after the war and it has an amazing tang of authenticity. Features an original actual air combat footage, a special stunt crash at the beginning. It's possibly the most evocative opening sequence of any film I've ever seen, let alone a war film. Any film is extraordinary. A lot of the films based in offices, don't let that put you off, it's really good. Sally B values her supporters very highly. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. So if you'd care to donate £395, non-members £460 or more to help keep Sally B flying and have your name or a name of your choice added to the prestigious Roll of Honour on the outside of her fuselage for one whole year and spend a special VIP day with our B-17 at Duxford. My goodness, here's the B-52 coming through. Hello B-52. Sally B, do you remember we were talking to see if she's going to put her smoke on? There goes her smoke. Point the way for Sally B to go home, just like the civilians did in occupied Europe when they saw the damaged bombers probably at about that height. You too can point the way for Sally B to go home. Well, that was two ends of... Did you point way home for Sally B? I did. The Royal Air Force, April 1st, their birthday. And of course, it had been the Royal Flying Corps up to that point, part of the Army. So once again, where the RAF goes, the rest of the world follows. The B-52, of course, is an American guest of ours. Very much the theme for Fairfield of this, actually beg your pardon, Fairfield this year, they are doing something about it, that's what popped into my head. International cooperation is our theme here at Cosford, and here she comes. aircraft taking off now, just filling in this little gap here. Those Barksdale boys.